Sit your ass down and
Sit your ass down. Sit your $5 ass down before I make 10.
Man, sit your ass down.
And we are back. Yes!
We've been drinking.
We have been drinking. But I gotta ask.
There are 3 bottles of liquors on this table.
Yes, it is. This week's.
That we could finish if it wasn't a
No, we got shit to do.
If it wasn't a weekday, we could finish it and continue the show.
Oh my God.
It'll be entertaining. We'll let them fight.
Unintelligible.
We'll be in a fight.
We will call in Tasha.
But
we will call Dominique. But
we will finish the show.
But one thing
it's a weekday, so
we have to do.
You're not getting that luxury.
Some people deserve it more than others. This week's Sit Your Ass Down. Number 1 with a bullet. Now, everybody else can slide a little bit more because this man raised his hand. It's almost like, Sam, can I be this week's Sit Your Ass Down? And I said yes. I don't know how many times we talked about this on this podcast.
Are you end of the year, Sit Your Ass Down?
Oh, you better goddamn believe this man will be on. If we're going to sit here and talk about a year.
I'm talking about, I got people that
If we're going to talk about a year of Sit Your Ass Down,
3 people.
He's in here.
3 people. Go ahead.
This man.
Interrupt your show. Go ahead.
Sit Your Ass Down. Number 1 with a bullet this week.
Lord have mercy.
Motherfucking Kyrie Irving.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
How many times on this podcast have I said to you,
I like Kyrie Irving.
I'm done with Kyrie Irving.
No, I like him.
How many times? We are in October, and I've said to you so many times, I'm done with Kyrie Irving.
I think he's a Republican.
The reason I am nominating Kyrie Irving for this week's Sit Your Ass Down for this reason. Kyrie Irving, now what you do on the court is phenomenal. But I now question what you do on the court because I don't even know if that's genuine. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. I don't think you want to play fucking basketball. I don't know. The reason Kyrie Irving is getting Sit Your Ass Down because he bent my mind into a pretzel. As we know, as of next week, as of me recording this, the NBA season starts. And Kyrie Irving went to the team's press conference like what you do. I have been to the team's press conference. We have tapes of me at the press conference. We have tapes of me getting kicked out of the Pistons press conference. But we ain't talking about the Pistons. We talking about the Brooklyn Nets. And at the Brooklyn Nets, they asked Kyrie straight up because the New York City mandate says you have to be vaccinated to play, not only to play in the Staples Center, the Barclays. I apologize. That's me. That's me messing up. I've been drinking. To play in the Barclays, not just to play in the Barclays, to attend the Barclays. So even if Kyrie Irving, in the state of New York City, in order to do something in a large capacity, he has to be vaccinated. I don't care about your freedoms. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not vaccinated. That's not why he's getting Sit Your Ass Down. He's getting Sit Your Ass Down because his stance is very simple. At a press conference, he told the reporter, "Why are you asking me these questions? This is a private matter." Well, Kyrie, I will explain to you why we are asking these questions at a press conference. Because you are a public figure, Kyrie, and this is no longer a private matter between you and your family, Kyrie. When you are a public figure and the state mandates that you have to say what's happening, you owe the people who bought a ticket to see you play basketball an explanation of why or why not you're going to be on the court. I don't give a shit about what you want to do. If you want to take the shot, cool. If you don't want to take the shot, that's all right. Those are your freedoms. Those are your freedoms. See, Kyrie didn't say that right then. He waited a couple days, and Kyrie, allegedly, I'm saying allegedly, but damn it, it's so specific. It has to come from Kyrie. But allegedly, he said to the Atlantic, who for some reason has it inside track Kyrie, he said he's believed he's fighting for something bigger than basketball, and he's unintended consequences, quote, unintended consequences that are his mission and conflicting with his career and his franchise. Irving remains ineligible to play in NBA home games. He can no longer play in NBA home games, nor can he practice due to the mandate. However, because he has not fulfilled New York City's COVID-19 vaccine requirement, and the Nets announced Tuesday that Irving will not play or practice with the team until he's eligible to be a full participant. The Atlantic learned that multiple sources that has a stance in his decision not to take the vaccine is reasoning to make it public today. And I will cut down the legalese. Here's what that means. Since he is not vaccinated, he cannot participate in practice or the play of games in the Barclays Center according to New York City's mandates. Now, again, I don't care if you take the vaccine or not take the vaccine as a person. I'm saying to you, the reason he's getting to sit your ass down is because he, quote, wants to be the voice of a voiceless and will not be ruled and not be subjugated.
You want to be a Kaepernick for all the wrong reasons.
Hold on, wait. Well, that's why I want to quote it. And not be subjugated to mandatory vaccine so he can continue himself. He's not doing this for himself. Kyrie Irving is actually fine, quote, fine, taking the vaccine, but he's doing this for the people who is forced to take the vaccine, end quote.
That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
This is the dumbest shit I ever heard.
This is why.
And the reason he's getting sit your ass down
to pro ball need to go to college.
Hold on. And this is
graduate.
Okay. I want to break this down very clearly, because there's a lot of people who listen to me, and I get it. If you don't take the vaccine, cool. If you did take the vaccine, cool. Sam does not care. But here's what I am going to say to you, and this is why he's getting to sit your ass down. Martin Luther Kyrie is the voice of the voiceless. And he's holding up court for this reason. He's holding up to say he wants to do this as a martyr. Now, Kyrie, I want to make this very goddamn plain to you. If you don't give a shit,
has wanted to be a martyr.
If you're a martyr, I like how you said that. But if you want to be a martyr,
I'm pretty sure King would have rather be alive. I'm just saying.
But if you want to be a martyr, here's what you don't do. Number one, if you want to be a martyr, go full martyr. Take the vaccine and sit your ass down. And never play a game of basketball, because when Joe's six-pack, the plumber, doesn't have a job, Uncle Kyrie can give him a couple bucks so he can live his life.
Indeed.
But when you're the voice of the voiceless, I want to say this, Kyrie. Don't bullshit everyone else.
Come on now.
If you're the voice of the voiceless,
come on now.
This is why you're getting sit your ass down. The reason you're getting sit your ass down is because you're not the voice of the voiceless, Kyrie. Because it's very simple. We are past the point of technology, of knowledge, of everything we need. And they're going to ask you, regardless what job you work, if you are a basketball player, or if you're this, or if you're that, if you're a plumber, if you dig ditches, whatever, they're going to ask you a simple question. Do you want the vaccine, or do you not want the vaccine? And you, the person, are going to use your voice to say, I want it or I don't want it. And if your employer has consequences for you not taking it, that's one way of looking at it. If your employer says, great, I'm glad you take it, that's another way of looking at it. But you have a fucking voice, because you got to tell them, do you want it or don't you want it? How in the fuck, Kyrie, are you the voice of the voiceless if we ask you the question and we only move on what you tell me by using said voice, Kyrie? Now, here go the thing with Kyrie that I'm just goddamn sick of. I'm sick of, Kyrie.
By the time we're done with this,
I like what you do on the court.
to go to work.
I like what you do on the court. I do.
You damn near never miss.
Hold on. The flat earth shit, I said this.
No,
I'll let him slide.
No,
Hold on.
no.
Here's why I let him slide.
No.
It wasn't on the court. I disagree because Kyrie said every picture on the earth is always flat. Well, god damn it, Kyrie, that's just how pictures work because I have taken a lot of pictures in my lifetime. I am 37 years old. I've taken a picture of myself, my friends, my wife, my son, everything, my house. Guess what, Kyrie? That shit was flat when I got that shit developed. When I looked at it on my phone, it was a 2D image. Wonder why? Because that's how fucking pictures work.
Stop entertaining that, man. We
So I let it slide.
we don't make motions for foolishness now. Come on now.
And this is where I felt they gave up on you, Kyrie. Not because you're a martyr, because you're not. Because your cause. Let me put it like this. Let me tell you about martyrs. Well, we talked about Martin Luther King. The fact that in your world you had to go through the athletic for me to know your reason of not taking the vaccine is your own personal business.
Indeed.
But I read a lot of history books. Not one time did I read a history book where it says Martin Luther King had a dream, and you can find that shit out on page 38. I have never had that. Malcolm X said, if I live on my knees, continuation on Z29 page. Every goddamn time. How the fuck are you the voice of the voiceless, but you can't use your voice to tell me what it is you want to do, Kyrie? With James Harden, if you want to keep it in sports, there's a lot of people telling me to shut up and dribble in my ear right now. But if you want to keep it in sports,
with this one, I told you this.
if you wanted to keep it in sports, Kevin Durant, who's going through shit
You see
by being
two basketball players
on,
jumped over one and said the other. Go ahead.
by being on
Go ahead.
two, count them, two pile-on teams. And a man who risked it all. James Harden, he did the fat shit. He had to gain weight. He had to do all this shit. And their answer to your horse shit was, guys, Brooklyn, we have two leaders here who's willing to work for you. That lets me know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Man.
Because how are you a leader? His quote, voice of the voiceless,
We're not getting
end quote. The whole point of this shit is because you had a voice. If you don't want to take the vaccine, cool. There's a different set of rules for you. If you take the vaccine, cool. There's a different set of rules for you. But god damn it, Kyrie, I did something I didn't want to do. This is Sam McClain talking to you. I agree with my wife about LeBron James. And when LeBron James said you wasn't a leader, I thought about Boston. When you bullshitted with Jason Tatum, I thought about what LeBron said. You want to be on the right side of history, but you don't want to sacrifice for being a martyr. So which one is it, Kyrie? Because if it's not a vaccine issue, you shut the fuck up, you take the shot, and you sit your ass down. But you got the entire city of Brooklyn, New York, mortgaging their future on you. And this just in, Brooklyn made a very poignant statement by saying, we will not be offering an extension to Kyrie Irving because this shit. So which one is it? I saw Durant go through another year of the bandwagon shit that he got with Golden State. I watched your teammates. These are your teammates. Harden go through fat shaming, skinny shaming, and then bandwagon shaming to get a championship. So this goes all the way back to your college days, Kyrie. You always find a way to not be all in, but in at the same time. If you were such a leader, even in your Cleveland days, when you was with LeBron James, and I feel weird that I'm agreeing with this man, LeBron James, if you are the shit, prove to me you're the shit. That's what LeBron said. And LeBron, I feel dirty agreeing with this man, LeBron James. And you know the hate I have on LeBron James. But I can't say he was wrong on this shit. If you want to be a leadership position, show me. So if you can't show your leadership position on the court, we coming down to real talk issues. People died for this shit, and now you want to be a martyr. You want to say your stance through somebody else. You want to be a martyr, be a fucking martyr. Say it out loud. I have never once seen Mahalia Jackson look at Dr. Martin Luther King and say, can you tell you about my dream? And Dr. Martin Luther King said, we don't talk about that shit. And then New York Post 6 months later came out with this story about the dream. Kyrie Irving, sit your ass down. BK, you got anything else? Oh shit, I broke you. I broke you. So Kyrie Irving, sit your ass down. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. My man BK is a staunch Kyrie Irving fan, but god damn it, right now he ain't got nothing to say. So here's what I'm finna do. I'm gonna go to the next Sitchoassdown. Sorry I talked about Martin Luther Kyrie. Next Sitchoassdown has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. I'm looking at him. He just sitting there. He's nursing his drink. He just like, shit, I got. Normally there's a back and forth with us. He just sitting there. But the next, oh man. Yeah, all right, moving on to the next one. Oh shit, Tasha grabbed the mic. He's done. He's fucking done. He may come back. I don't know. He's done. But the next, oh my God, the next Sitchoassdowns go to Chicago newlyweds, better known as the Simmons. They're now the Simmons. They got married. The next Sitchoassdown goes to Chicago newlyweds go viral after sending a $240 bill to no-show wedding guests to their destination wedding. Now, I get it. Better people than us have covered this story. Looking at you, Badge and Z. But the next wedding you RSVP and decide to skip could be a costly one. Chicago's couple response becomes a trend. A viral post is making the rounds on Twitter involving Chicago newlyweds Doug and Deidre Simmons. The damage is $240 is a bill to cover the costs. The New York Post reports that widely circulated invoice, which many believe was fake, is very real. Chicago newlyweds revealed that they tied the knot at the Royal, I hope I'm getting this right, the Royalton Negril Resort and Spa in Jamaica. According to the newspaper, the cost of each guest is $120 U.S. currency, and the couple had to pay in advance for the destination wedding. More than 100 people were expected to attend. Well, this was shared with more than 6,000 people, and the Simmons write, please don't be offended if I send this invoice to you. It's going to look something like this. So what they did, they sent invoices to all the people who couldn't attend that they considered did not have a legitimate excuse. After assuring that the couple would, according to Simmons, without much as a call or text, they took that personally. Chicago's own. I took that personally. Shout out to the 30 for 30 on, Mike. So they took that personally. And they told the news outlet, while they took all the attention to stride, they admit that it's not about a money thing, it's a communication thing, and felt hurt and disrespected by their many no-shows. Whether they will follow through on their requests is another story, however. The couple said payments from Zelle, PayPal, or Cash App would suffice. Naturally, the quote, hashtag petty post received mixed reactions on Twitter. One Twitter user wrote, I would have sent it back right away, and now Twitter's having a thing. So they sent an invoice. If you didn't make it to our wedding, you owe me $240. Now the reason they getting this sit your ass down is this reason. It's almost seeming like you did everything for a person not to show up to your wedding. You went to Jamaica, you booked this thing, you live in Chicago. There's a thing, like destination weddings are hard. And usually with destination weddings, you get that's how you really find out who your friends are. You get about 5 or 6 people and you call it even, because quite honestly, that's just the people who finna make a trip to see you. Weddings are different because you want to celebrate the people you with right then and there. People want to continue the celebration. They go with you, and then that's the thing. But for you to go out and send those people an invoice because they want to celebrate in your day, you made it about you, which is understandable because you made it about you. But what you didn't take into account is their limitations. As of this week, in a few days. As of this week, in a few days, I would have been married for 11 years. And on my wedding day, even in the city, I had to take an account of people who couldn't make it. And I didn't fault them for it. But if they showed up, there was a plate left for them. Because that is an offering from me, the wedding party, to say, hey, thank you for celebrating with us because I am adventuring on a life with this person. And she is adventuring a life on me. And I thank you for witnessing. Now, if you showed up, that's your own business. If you didn't, that's your own business. But I didn't send invoices to the people I invited because that's the plan. I probably would have invited half of America. See, you can't have it both ways. You can't invite the people. They say no and then charge them for showing up. But you can't have it in a way where if you invited more people, you didn't have accommodations for that. Jamaica's awesome. But Jamaica does not have the accommodations for all of Chicago. Because if that was the case, Jamaica would be a bigger place. Just saying. That's just geographics. So the Simmons, sit y'all ass down. Now I'm sitting here with my wife. My wife is just rolling her eyes because she looked at it one way and not the other way. But my man BK, he had to take a walk. He had to take a smoke. He had to take a smoke. I had to carry everything. My wife is looking at me the other way. And I asked, wife, goodly wife, who we are celebrating our anniversary in a few days, you would have sent those invoices out. All right then. She's shaking her head no. All right, cool. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. I kind of wanted that on tape because, quite honestly, that's one of those times I was right and I wish people can hear that. And lastly, and certainly not leastly, it's been a while since you got a chance to hear our voice on this mic. Now I have to ask a very important question. My man BK took a smoke break. So I asked my wife. His wife went to go check on him. So I asked my wife a question. It's a question you don't always get a chance to answer. However, we've had interviews. We ain't get a chance to answer this question. Hey, wife. I wanted to ask my friend BK. I'm keeping it 100, keeping it funky. But since he ain't here, he had to take a smoke break because I just ran down one of his favorite basketball players. And now he's rethinking some things. Hey, wife. Excuse me. Executive producer of this podcast. Almost DJ M80. Almost AJ. Equal. Separate but equal. Non-racially biased. Can I ask you a question? Is Florida in the house?
They always in the house.
Oh, what was that? I'm sorry. What was that?
They are always in the house.
Could you lean to the mic just a little bit?
They are always in the house.
And this next, sit your ass down. Go to Timothy Wolf. Timothy Wolf is getting sit your ass down for probably one of the most Florida things I've heard ever on this podcast. Timothy Wolf went to trade in his car, his existing car, the car that he has, for a new one at the Lake City Chrysler dealership. However, when the Lake City Chrysler dealership ran the VIN number, for those who don't know, that is the vehicle identification number, through their system, they found out that Timothy Wolf, same Timothy Wolf I'm talking about, Timothy had brought the same vehicle that was stolen from the dealership 3 days earlier from him bringing it in. They called the police immediately. Then they approached Timothy on thorough interrogation. Timothy admitted he stolen the vehicle from the dealership. The facts collected from the law enforcement officers and then confirmed on closed circuit television footage, which caught the crime, Timothy in action, and Timothy confessed to the crime. He was sent to the Columbia County Detention Center. I asked the questions, Florida in the house. Some sit your ass downs are right in front of you. You can't even help this man. BK is still smoking. Timothy Wolf, man, sit your ass down. You stole the car to the same dealership that you are. Never mind. Sit your ass down. That's all I got this week.